There's an old saying that goes, if at first you don't succeed, skydiving is not for you. But as humorous as it may sound, it's not entirely true. In fact, life is all about taking leaps, calculated ones of course, and learning from our failures, not running away from them. Once upon a time, there was a man named Fred. Fred was a chronic procrastinator, the kind who'd put off going to bed just because it required getting up to brush his teeth. One day, Fred decided to bake a cake. He mixed the ingredients, put the mixture into the oven, and then promptly forgot about it. The cake burned, his smoke alarm went off, and his neighbors were not too pleased. But instead of giving up, Fred did a peculiar thing. He set a timer on his phone for the cake the next day, and guess what? It worked. The cake turned out perfectly fine, and Fred learned a valuable lesson about time management. Then there was Maria. Maria was terrified of public speaking. The mere thought of standing in front of a crowd gave her shivers. One day, Maria's boss asked her to present the quarterly report in front of the entire company. Maria was petrified, but she decided to face her fear head-on. She practiced her speech in front of her mirror, her dog, her plants, and even her goldfish. When the day came, Maria was still nervous, but she pushed through. Despite stumbling over a few words, she managed to deliver her presentation successfully. Her colleagues applauded her, and Maria realized that the fear of public speaking was all in her head. Now let's talk about Tom. Tom was a fitness enthusiast, but he had a weakness: donuts. He loved them. One day, Tom decided to run a marathon, but every time he tried to train, he'd pass by a donut shop and couldn't resist the temptation. One day, Tom decided to take a different route for his training, a route that had no donut shops. And guess what? Tom not only successfully completed his marathon training, but also ran the marathon and came in third place. He learned that sometimes all it takes is a little change in perspective to overcome our weaknesses. The stories of Fred, Maria, and Tom are all different, but they share a common theme. They all faced challenges, they all made mistakes, but they didn't let these obstacles stop them. They learned from their mistakes, they adapted, and they overcame. So remember, the next time you burn a cake, stumble over your words, or can't resist a donut, don't give up. Learn, adapt, and overcome. Because as another saying goes, the person who makes no mistakes does not usually make anything. And here's a little challenge for you. The next time you find yourself in a pickle, just think, what would Fred, Maria, or Tom do? And then do it. Because life is too short to be afraid of burnt cakes, big crowds, or tempting donuts. So go out there, face those fears, make those mistakes, and remember, every stumble is another story, every burnt cake a lesson learned, and every resisted donut a victory. And who knows, maybe one day you'll have your own funny yet inspiring anecdote to share.